Labour's spending plans pound for pound until the end of 2008. They used the crisis as an opportunity to push policies they always wanted to get away with, but didn't think was possible. They redirect people's anger away from those who plunged this country into its mess to people's neighbours down the streets, including using public money on vans paraded in mixed-race communities with National Front slogans from the 1980s spray-painted on them. The politics of divide and rule. And then they declare victory, even as they fail on their own terms. A deficit they said would be wiped out as the underlying deficit now grows. Debt piling up more than ever. And as for growth, we're in the longest economic crisis, not since the 80s, not since the 70s, not since the 30s. This is the longest economic crisis in the history of this country. We are still smaller as an economy than when Lehman Brothers came crashing down. But the point is this: they have a mandate for any of this. They should have walked the last election. We had a Labour government a bit less popular than tuberculosis. We had an economic, it's fair to be fair, but we had an economic crisis bigger than any for generations. But they only won 36%. They haven't won an election since 1992. They don't have a mandate for everything they are doing to this country. Their weakness should be our strength. And that's where the People's Assembly comes in. It's a formidable coalition. It's bringing together private and public sector unions, campaigners for disabled people, elderly people, young people, tax justice. It's bringing together people in the Labour Party, the Green Party, people in no party whatsoever. And it is a formidable coalition because we realise this: we can't go back to the years we had before, where it was all a little bit People's Front of Judea, if we're going to be honest. I think some of you are laughing out bitterness more than anything else. Because we can't afford to fall out in the way we once did. Too much is at stake. If we screw this one up, we can screw it up for generations to come. And we'll disagree, we'll debate. Good, that's the whole point of a movement. It's the lifeblood of a movement. But we know, even as we disagree on this or that, or this strategy or that tactic, we're all on the same side. We're building a united movement. So friends, what's this? Firstly, let's make sure we get as many people on the 29th to Manchester to give a very warm northern welcome to the Conservative Party. We need to build for the 5th of November, a day of national civil disobedience and protest, drawing on that proud tradition of dissent in this country. But we also, and I hope you'll do this, you'll have a campaign rooted in this community, whether it be on the living wage or 0-hour contracts, something people can get their teeth into, to build a proper campaign where we're not just talking and discussing, but out on the streets, organising and fighting. But friends, let's be optimistic. Our enemies are far weaker than they often look. If we look out there, there's huge public support for the alternatives that we're pushing. If we have courage and determination, if we stand with the same grit and fight that our mothers and fathers and those before them did, we can fight not just against this government, not just against austerity, but to build a country in the interests of working people. We stand together, we fight together, friends, we will win this together.